It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Monday, the 4th of August. I'm Michael Groff. If you're a fan of dry conditions, temperatures above average, maybe even approaching record levels, well, this video and really this entire summer has been geared for you and will continue to be for the upcoming week. But by this weekend and into early next week, the weather pattern begins to change, perhaps favorably for us, finally, with monsoon moisture on the increase, chances of showers and thunderstorms picking up across the state. But what does that mean for us here in the Valley? We'll get to all of that and everything else in just a moment. Hey everyone, it's Michael Groff here to talk to you about your roof. With all the extreme weather we have in Arizona, you need a name you can trust, and that's why you should call Blackstone Roofing Group for all of your roofing needs. Call for your free inspection today. Big or small, they do it all. Tile, shingle, or flat roofing, they can help, offering free inspections and more. Roofing made easy. Call 602-536-9363 or visit blackstoneroofinggroup.com to schedule your free inspection today. And if you tell them Michael Groff sent you, they'll take $500 off the price of your roof replacement. Again, that's 602-536-9363 or blackstoneroofinggroup.com. All right, first, let's get to that almanac from yesterday. Another hot one in the Valley. 112 degrees was the afternoon high. 84 was the morning low. 106 and 85 are the averages for this time of year. And as we take a look outside right now at 10:35 a.m., sunny sky, 99 degrees at Sky Harbor. Dew points 47, humidity 17%, a light wind, and the barometer is steady. Satellite picture out here across the southwest. You don't exactly have to be a meteorologist to be able to pick out where the ridge is located. Yeah, it's almost right on top of us. It's beginning to shift back toward the east, though. It was located over northwest Mexico, southeast California, southwest Arizona, now shifting back towards southeast Arizona, southwest New Mexico. It will continue to shift a little bit further to the east, eventually setting up over western New Mexico for much of this week and intensifying. And as it does, the heat will also be intensifying. You do see that monsoon moisture. It's not like it's thousands of miles away. This is just to the south of us across much of northern Mexico. We saw another big thunderstorm complex blow up down there last night, a big MCS. But all of that moisture will stay away from us for the next few days, although we will see a bit of an increase in shower and thunderstorm activity by later this week. Here's the watch warning map. Obviously, the story out here in the west is the dry conditions and the heat with red flag warnings and, of course, the extreme heat warnings, the extreme heat watches. Not just here in Phoenix, we have an extreme heat warning in effect, and that's through 8 p.m. Friday. But much of those heat products are in effect for southern, southwest Arizona, southeast California, including eastern Riverside and Imperial counties, all the way up into northwest Arizona and the Mojave Desert. Now, elsewhere, we've got the Canadian wildfire smoke still kind of filtering through the northern tier states, especially the western and central Great Lakes and over into parts of the northeast as well. Again, still heavy rain in parts of the southeast around Atlanta and some of the adjacent areas down toward Macon and Rome, Georgia. You've got the flood watch in effect. Here's the convective outlook for today. We've got the slight risk of severe storms from the Rockies out into the western plains states, and the broader severe weather risk for a good portion of the west, well north and east of Arizona. You can see no threat of thunder in Phoenix or across the entire southwest today with that ridge taking a position to our south-southeast. The flow aloft is generally westerly or southwesterly, and that's going to keep all that monsoon moisture at bay for now. Precipitation outlook valid through next Monday morning. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing statewide. We could see maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch in a few spots. The east central mountains, the southeastern portion of the state right along the international border. But I will tell you, rain chances pick up pretty dramatically right at the end of and just beyond this 7-day period. We're going to talk about what's going on with this weather pattern in more detail right now as we get to the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go, the GFS. It's the 12Z run, and this is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. All right, there's a trough in the east. We got that short wave that's really creating quite a bit of precipitation over parts of the southeast. We'd love to see that, but here it's a nasty ridge, a 594 to 597 ridge that's just sitting here across the southwest, not allowing any monsoon moisture in. So what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, how about sunny sky? Surprise, surprise. Highs 108 to 112, pretty similar to what we saw yesterday. For tonight, clear sky and with very dry air around. Overnight lows will still drop into the upper 70s in the cool spots, 80s for the rest of us. And then for tomorrow, it's really more of the same. Sunny, but temperatures coming up a little bit as that ridge is over western New Mexico and it's intensifying. The upper heights are climbing to around 597 decameters. So highs 110 to 114. Let's go to Wednesday. We'll tack on a couple more degrees to these afternoon highs with the ridge continuing to strengthen. Highs right now, we're looking at 112 to 116 here in Phoenix, although the hottest desert spots approaching 120 degrees. And I don't really see much in terms of rain chances or thunderstorm activity around here, at least not on Wednesday. Now, the flow aloft does start to switch more out of the southeast with that ridge over western New Mexico. But it's going to take some time for that moisture to come up here. And with the thermal profiles being what they are, with such an intense ridge, storm activity would be extremely limited. But maybe an isolated shower or storm as we go to Thursday. But here in the valley, just hot and very hot. Maybe even approaching damn hot. It's a very technical meteorological term, but I think you'll understand when I tell you that we're looking at highs anywhere from 114 to 119 degrees here in the valley. Now, I should remind you that the all-time record high temperature for the month of August is 117 degrees. That's occurred 4 times throughout history. And we are certainly going to challenge that probably, or at least it sure looks like right now, a very good chance we surpass that. Even on Friday, it's still hot. Temperatures should come down a couple of degrees in response to, number one, moisture slowly increasing, maybe a few more clouds in the mix. The ridge slightly weakening, with upper heights having crested Wednesday night and Thursday morning around 598 to 600 decameters, coming back down to around 596, 597 range. And in response, temperatures back off a little. Highs will still be around 111 to 115, which is brutally hot. But there will be at least some isolated showers and thunderstorms possible across east, central, and southeast Arizona, maybe northern Mexico, southwest New Mexico during that time. Of course, here in the valley, I think the chance of rain still remains below the threshold where we would put it in the forecast. But that may not be the case as we go to the weekend. The ridge is still weakening. But look at this. This is the probability of temperatures reaching or even exceeding 120 degrees here in Phoenix this week. Now, no chance today or tomorrow, but this is based on all the ensemble data. We feed it all in there and we come up with the probability, and it's got a probability of 13% of 120 degrees on Wednesday and 18% Thursday, 4% chance Friday. Now, am I saying it's going to hit 120 degrees here in Phoenix? Well, the probability still says likely not, but the chance isn't zero. And of course, we'll monitor this as we get closer to see how that plays out. But yeah, with such an intense ridge, historically speaking, with the ridge right over western New Mexico, right on the eastern Arizona border, and upper heights out of bounds of the climatological extremes, up around 600 decameters, that is certainly possible. But the weather pattern does start to change as we go to Saturday. The ridge weakens a bit and is beginning to shift more toward the north and west. And so as a result, southeasterly flow is in place. Now, still, this is a strong ridge between 594 to 596 decameters, okay? So it's still going to be very hot with highs anywhere from about 109 to 113 on Saturday. But at least widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms will be possible over the rim, the eastern mountains in the southeastern part of the state, and a stray storm cannot be ruled out to get into the lower deserts. Now, in all probability, that would generally result in just gusty winds and blowing dust. I suppose there could be a little bit of rain, though. So in a nod to that, we're going to put at least a 10% chance of rain into the forecast here in Phoenix on Saturday, especially Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Same deal on Sunday with highs again somewhere between about 107 to 113 across the lower deserts, including Phoenix. Showers and storms may be slightly more numerous, still in that widely scattered criteria, though. But now pushing a little further west on Sunday, and I think we'll see a few more clouds coming in here, so temperature range could be a little greater. and humidity levels coming up ever so slightly too. The pattern continues to evolve in an interesting direction as we go into next week. This is next Monday, the 11th. And the GFS has the ridge now taking a position north of us across Utah, eventually shifting into Nevada. And the heights coming down a little further between about 591 to 594 decameters. This is still a strong ridge, but it's moving a little further to the north. So the center of the core of that heat dome is a little bit further away from us, and the flow aloft is now squarely out of the east. So showers and thunderstorms that develop over the higher terrain of eastern Arizona are pushed westward toward the lower deserts each afternoon and evening. And so a better monsoon setup. And, in the month of August, this is actually not an uncommon look. How about that? Actually, something that is kind of meteorologically speaking or climatologically speaking, kind of supposed to happen, right? So we'll see that on Monday and maybe into Tuesday. The synoptic looks sure looks favorable for those storms to come in here on Monday afternoon and Monday evening. So if this trend holds, we would certainly have to increase the number of showers and storms in our forecast and probably bump up those probabilities quite a bit, but at least scattered afternoon and evening showers and storms will be with us. This is Tuesday, the 12th of August. Again, favorable weather pattern with high pressure sitting to the north of us for easterly flow and showers and storms. And the models, all of them, are indicating some easterly wave action, maybe an inverted trough, a disturbance of some kind coming through the flow here for enhanced showers and storms. There's no way to pin that down, okay? There's no way to know when that would happen this far out or if that happens at all. But the general idea that if a ridge sits to the north of us for a period of time with the easterlies becoming more active with tropical waves, these waves coming through, it is only a matter of time in that setup before we would see one or two inverted troughs coming toward the southwestern United States. So it stands to reason that at least an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms will be with us in this kind of a setup for sure. And temperatures would still be obviously hot, but not as hot. I would say highs are trending down with increasing moisture. This is the end of the forecast period, Wednesday the 13th. And if this is right, again, high pressure remains in a very favorable position, and we'd still see scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms with us. The monsoon in effect. How about that? The first time we could mention that. And again, models are very, very much in agreement on this. We're very consistent. From the GFS to the European, the AI, all those are right there on board with it. And does that mean it's going to happen? Of course not. You've been watching these videos all summer. You know what's happened. These models have come into pretty good agreement before on a more robust monsoon pattern, and it either didn't happen or it only kind of partially turned out to happen that way. But this is the most favorable setup we've seen off of the models basically this entire summer, or at least during the monsoon season. So it's encouraging, but of course, at least I don't know about you, but I won't hold my breath just yet. We'll watch future trends and see. But boy, this is several runs in a row that have pointed in a favorable direction. And again, if that's right, yes, scattered afternoon and evening storms, maybe even numerous showers and thunderstorms, especially for the high country. And yeah, temperatures would trend down closer to seasonal averages. Highs probably anywhere from about 102 to 107 each afternoon. All right, looking at rainfall for Phoenix off the GFS ensemble out through the 18th of the month. That looks pretty good. Yeah, the ensemble mean is just under a half an inch. And I know it's the GFS ensemble. It hasn't done very well this summer so far, but hey, if that pattern does hold out to be accurate, then this would be pretty much on par with what you'd expect to see in such a setup. European AI ensemble is not so encouraging, although it does show, again, more members out there at about 7 to 10 days are starting to introduce some rain chances here, so we'll see. Temperatures off the national blend of models, yuck. Highs 116, 117 there Wednesday, Thursday, and there is that outside chance we could hit 120 degrees in Phoenix. Not sure if that's realistic or not, but it's an outside chance. Really depends on how the days play out. And we'll know as we get closer, as we get to Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, I think we'll have a little bit more clarity on that. And looking at the CPC outlook, the 8 to 14 day outlook for across the country here. And temperatures are still slated to be above average here across the Southwest. No surprise there. Probability skewed toward above average temperatures. And how about this for precipitation? This is an interesting look. Below average precipitation favored north of us across Utah, Nevada, Colorado, and extreme northern Arizona, with above average precipitation skewed in the probability there for southern Arizona and near average for the rest of the state. Kind of a strange look, but there you go. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really enjoy what we do here, you want to support the channel, please do. Click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube and make a monetary contribution to us that way. Or via PayPal, groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Our Venmo is also linked up down in the description. I want to thank Gary Johnson for his monthly contribution, if I haven't done that yet. The days kind of blend together, but not sure if I did. But yes, thank you, Gary. Thank you, Clayton. You guys helping us out, supporting the channel. Really do appreciate that. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, and almost certainly Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description. Also, the co-executive producer for today, Freya Cat. Yes, Freya spent roughly half of this video on my shoulder. So if I sounded a little bit distracted in today's video, it's because she's putting her whiskers in my face. So thank you, Freya, for helping out. She's very, very helpful with the videos. All right. If you really enjoy what we do here, you want to help support us in other ways, you can also check out our streaming station. It's available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun over there, so give that a listen. And check out friend of the channel, friend of mine, friend to all. He is Dan over there at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel or courtroomfiles.com. So again, endless entertainment. The guy posts, I don't know, how many videos does he post a day? Like 3 videos a day, and then there's shorts, and there's content for everybody. If you like short form content, he's got it. Long form content, he's got it. Live content, he's got it. There's really no other, I don't know what other kind of content the guy could produce other than maybe telepathic. I'm sure he's working on that. What? He says he's working on it. All right, there we go. I just got that message. Well, that was either him or the toaster talking to me. I can't remember which one now. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. Please be safe. Stay cool. Stay hydrated out there. And you guys have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Monday.